Gaming with the Master with part 15 of Fossil Fighters. Let's get to it. Last episode, we met Nick Nack and got the first of his 3 requests to get the beard ribbon from him. So now, we're going to get the second thing, which is a sandal fossil. And then Rosie says, there's no such thing called a sandal fossil. And then Nick Nack shows us one. And then Rosie wonders how a sandal could have been fossilized since it has to be buried for millions of years. And Nick Nack assumes since there's a left one, there has to be a right one somewhere. And Rosie suggests to go to Greenhorn Plains with the area full of junk, or what was just a lot of fossil rocks. So we talk to Beth, and then select Greenhorn Plains. So we go here and we find Snivels digging for something. And then Snivels notices us and wonders how we got out of the pirate ship. And Snivels attacked, so we'll have to battle him. And Snivels is using a Fudabai, a Char, and a Lambio. So Snivels goes first, using Winding Snap. And Winding Snap does 39 damage. And then we'll use Corona Bite, which does a critical 80 damage. Fudabai uses Winding Snap again, which actually excites and does 39 damage. And if you remember, Excite means I can't swap Shoni into the EZ. So I use Corona Bite and it does 53 damage. Then Karchar uses Massive Jaws. Then we're going to use Elasmo Tackle. And it does a critical 54 damage and defeats Karchar. And Fudabai swaps out for Lambio into the AZ. And uses Steer the Storm. So now we're going to use Elasmo Tackle and Corona Bite since we have enough FP to do that. Elasmo Tackle did 48 damage and Corona Bite does 65 damage, so we defeated Fudabai. And then Lambio uses Counting Coup, which excites and does 54 damage. So now we're going to use Corona Bite, and it does 99 damage. And then Lambio uses Sliding Ram, which does 37 damage. Then we're going to use Corona Bite to hopefully finish off Lambio. And we did, so we beat Snivels. And we won 5 battle points Inchoni's LP increased by 8, Corona's increased by 3, Elasmo's increased by 6, Spinax's increased by 5, and Ventnor's increased by 2. So now we're free to look for the sandal fossil. And Rosie finally makes the connection that we're getting Nick Nacks for Nick Nack. And then that girl appears. So Rosie asks the girl if she has a sandal fossil, and she actually does. So now she's going to give it to us, and we don't have to do anything for it. And then Rosie introduces herself and then our character, and then the girl introduces herself as Duna. And also she says, "Thanks for showing me the hip shaker dance." So now we're going to give the sandal fossil to Nick and see what the third thing is that we need to get for him to give us the beard ribbon. Then we go to talk to Nick Nack. And then Nick places the sandal fossils on that shelf. And the last thing he wants is dentures from a denture shark. And Rosie will not go with us, so it's just going to be us by ourselves getting the dentures from the denture shark. And Nick gives us a hint that they usually keep their dentures they take their dentures off in their dens, which are generally covered up by breakable rocks. Then Holt's here saying that McJunker opened up a pay-to-dig site in Greenhorn Plains, in that area that we just came from. So you pay the in-game currency that you get from the jewel rocks to enter the dig site, and then you find fossils of Vivosaurs you can only find there. But either way, we're going to Bottom Sump Bay now to get the dentures from the denture shark. So, when we get to Bottom Sump Bay, we find that there's denture sharks there, so we're going to have to avoid them again. So now we're going to try and avoid these denture sharks. Which we just successfully did, so now they gave up and ran away. So now we're going to go into one of the secret holes that we found, so we can get dentures from a denture shark. And there's a denture shark right there, taking their dentures off. And when we get there, we discover that there's tooth rot on there, so we have to clean that up. So we just successfully cleaned the teeth off, so now we're going to go back to Nick to give him the third and final item. So now we're going to Nick Nack's room in the hotel. When we get there, Vivian's in the elevator. So she wants us to give her the dentures, and then she gets angry at the hotel manager for telling her she can't block the elevator. So we're going to have to battle her to get to Nick Nack's room. And she is using Alexo, Apache Rhino, and an Elasmo. So Vivian starts first and uses Apache Rhino combo, which does 21 damage. So we're going to use Corona Bite on Elasmo, which does 54 damage. And then, again, Vivian uses Apache Rhino combo. And then we're going to use Corona Bite, which does 57 damage. And again, Vivian uses Apache Rhino combo and does 22 damage. And swapped out Elasmo for Apache Rhino. Then we're going to use Corona Bite on Apache Rhino, which does 58 damage. Then Apache Rhino uses Apache Rhino combo, which knocks Shoni into the easy and does 64 damage. So we're going to use Corona Bite, and it does 60 damage to Apache Rhino, and activates Apache Rhino's Parting Blow. So Vivian swaps attack zones and uses Poison Tail on Corona, which does poison, so I'm going to swap Corona out for Shoni. And then use Elasmo Tackle on Lexo, which does 42 damage. And then Vivian uses Poison Spin, which does 32 damage and poisons. Then we're going to use Elasmo combo, which should hopefully finish off Lexo. And it does, so Lexo is defeated. And Shoni takes 54 poison damage. Then Elasmo uses Elasmo Fury, which enrages Shoni. And then swaps Elasmo out for Apache Rhino. So we're going to use Elasmo Tackle to defeat Apache Rhino. Then Elasmo uses Elasmo Fury, which defeats Shoni. But we're going to use Snapping Jaws against Elasmo, which does 87 damage. And we defeated Vivian, so now we can get to Nick Nack's room. And Corona leveled up, so Corona's now level 8, and his LP increased by 5, attack increased by 1, along with accuracy and evasion, and defense increased by 3. Elasmo also ranked up to a level 9, And LP increased by 8 along with attack, defense increased by 3, and accuracy and evasion increased by 1. Shoney's LP increased by 9, Spinax's increased by 8, and Ventnor's increased by 3. And then Vivian runs away, so we're going to go to Nick Nack's room now. So, now, talking to Nick Nack, now that we gave him the dentures from the denture shark, he'll give us the beard ribbon. And he wanted these 3 items because he wanted to have his dream in a exotic toboggan wearing hard slippers chewing hard walnuts. He wanted to complete that dream, and now he can do that. So now that we have the beard ribbon, we're going to go talk to Woolbeard the pirate in Bottom Sump Bay. And also he tells us that the BB bandits were also trying to get these 3 things. So that's why when we tried to get all 3 of them, someone stopped us, or at least tried to stop us. So we're going to go to Bottom Sump Bay. Then we're going to head off to the pirate ship. Which, if you remember, is under this secret passage. So now that we're in the pirate ship, we're going to go up these stairs, then up these stairs, and then down these stairs, and up these stairs, and into Woolbeard's room. And when we get there, the BB trio is putting the beard ribbon on Woolbeard. And then Woolbeard notices that's not actually his beard ribbon. So then he becomes all enraged and tries to do something to the BB trio. So we're going to have to battle Woolbeard. And Woolbeard is using an Elasmo, a Plesio, and a Corona. And Woolbeard attacks first. And actually doesn't. He just saves up FP, so we're going to use Corona Bite, which does 64 damage to Woolbeard's Corona. And then Woolbeard saves up FP again, so we're going to use Corona Bite on Woolbeard's Corona, which does 62 damage. And now Woolbeard is going to use Ocean Pulse, which is Elasmo's team skill. So it did 88 damage to Shoney, 33 damage to Corona, and 30 damage to Elasmo. So a key thing to know about team skills is they're the pink skills that appear right there, but they only appear if you have a well-matched team. So now we're going to use Corona Bite against Corona, and we defeat Woolbeard's Corona. Then Elasmo uses Elasmo Fury against Corona, which does 97 damage. So we're going to use Corona Bite against Woolbeard's Elasmo, which does a critical 89 damage. And then Elasmo uses Elasmo Combo against Corona and does 55 damage. And now we're going to use Corona Bite against Elasmo, which does a critical 89 damage and defeats Elasmo. Then Plesio uses Poisonous Assault, which doesn't do any damage, but it poisoned us. So now we're going to use Corona Bite against Plesio, which does 63 damage. And Plesio uses Poisonous Assault again. And then we're going to use Corona Bite, which should hopefully finish off Plesio, and it does. So we beat Woolbeard. And we got 7 battle points. And Ventnor ranked up this time, and he's now a rank 8. And his LP increased by 8, attack increased by 6, and defense, accuracy, and evasion increased by 1. Shoney's LP increased by 11, as well as Corona's. Elasmo's increased by 9. Spinax's increased by 8. So now, Woolbeard calmed down, and we'll be able to tie the beard ribbon onto him. And then Woolbeard agrees that this is the true beard ribbon. So, now he'll give us the treasure, which is the book of team skills that we've already read. And then also a real bit of treasure, which is another one of the tacky idols. But this time it's a tall and slender one. So we take the tacky idol. But now it's time for level up battles. So join me next time where we go to our level up battle and try to level up.